In this video, we're counting down 15 mobile games with insane graphics, from hidden gems to absolute monsters, all running on your phone. Let's start the countdown. Coming in at number 15 is Riptide GP Renegade, a futuristic water racer that still looks impressive years after release. This isn't just racing in a straight line. You build speed by pulling tricks, chaining boosts, and reading the water as waves constantly shift under you. The real standout is the physics. Water reacts to every turn, jump, and landing, giving the game a weight and flow most mobile racers never achieve. Tracks are packed with vertical routes, shortcuts, and obstacles, while the career mode adds structure and progression instead of endless repetition. It may not chase realism, but in motion, Riptide GP Renegade delivers speed, style, and polish that still earns its place on this list. Landing at number 14 is Grand Mountain Adventure, a skiing game that surprises you with how big and grounded it feels on mobile. Instead of short, scripted tracks, you're dropped onto massive mountains and free to carve your own path. You can explore, drift downhill at your own pace, or hunt for challenges naturally spread across the terrain. Visually, it's all about scale and atmosphere. Long downhill runs, distant views, and clean lighting give the world real depth, making the mountains feel open rather than boxed in. Movement stays smooth, the camera never fights you, and nothing feels rushed or arcade-heavy. Grand Mountain Adventure earns the 14th spot by showing that high graphics aren't just about effects. Sometimes it's about space, calm visuals, and a world that feels believable on a phone. Sitting at number 13 is Shadowgun Legends, a sci-fi shooter that still stands out visually in the mobile space. From the moment you drop in, the game shows its strength through detailed environments, strong lighting, and smooth first-person animation that feels closer to console shooters than most mobile FPS games. Weapons have real weight, effects light up the screen during combat, and enemy animations stay fluid even when things get busy. Different areas bring their own look, keeping the world visually fresh instead of repetitive. What really helps it hold up is consistency. The game looks good during actual gameplay, not just in screenshots. Shadowgun Legends earns the 13th spot by delivering a polished, visually demanding shooter that proves mobile FPS games can still look impressive when done right. Placed at number 12 is The Elder Scrolls Blades, a mobile RPG that aims higher visually than most games in its genre. Instead of huge open fields, the game focuses on tight, detailed spaces, dungeons packed with stonework, lighting effects, and materials that actually feel solid and grounded. Weapons and armor aren't just icons here. Metal shines, fire lights up dark corridors, and enemy models carry real weight when they move toward you. What makes it stand out visually is consistency. The game keeps its quality during real gameplay, not just in menus or cutscenes. It may scale things down compared to console Elder Scrolls games, but Blades earns the 12th spot by delivering a serious fantasy look that pushes mobile hardware harder than most RPGs dare. Holding the 11th spot is Warhammer 40,000 Freeblade, a mobile mech game that delivers scale and impact right on a phone screen. You pilot a massive Imperial Knight, and the game makes sure you feel its weight. Heavy footsteps, towering enemies, and constant firepower give every mission a sense of size that most mobile games can't match. The visuals focus on what matters most, the machines. Armor plates are thick and detailed, weapons feel oversized, and explosions fill the screen without turning fights into visual noise. Gameplay keeps things simple and focused. You move forward, line up targets, and unload devastating weapons, with each upgrade making battles look and feel more intense. It may follow a guided, on-rails structure, but Freeblade earns number 11 by delivering raw power, scale, and one of the most visually striking mech experiences you can get on mobile. Coming in at number 10 is Trials of Mana, a mobile remake that feels far more polished than most RPGs on phones. What makes it stand out visually is how clean everything looks in motion. Characters are fully rebuilt in 3D, animations are smooth, and combat flows naturally as you dodge, attack, and chain abilities in real time. Magic and special skills are where the game really shines. Effects are large and cinematic, but they never overwhelm the screen, so fights stay clear even when things get intense. The world design leans into bright, stylized fantasy. Towns, dungeons, and open areas aren't overloaded with detail, but they're consistent and sharp, which helps the game hold its visual quality throughout long play sessions. Trials of Mana earns the 10th spot by delivering a high graphics experience through polish and clarity, proving that strong art direction can look just as impressive as raw realism on mobile. At number 9 is Final Fantasy VII: Ever Crisis, a mobile RPG that delivers its visual power where it matters most, during combat and story moments. While exploration uses a simplified style, battles shift into high-detail character models, cinematic camera angles, and lighting that instantly feels more console-like than mobile. Attacks land with impact, animations stay smooth, and limit breaks turn fights into short visual showcases. Magic effects are flashy but controlled. The screen fills with color and motion, yet everything stays readable, even during intense sequences. What really sells it is consistency in presentation. Story scenes flow naturally into combat, and the visual quality holds up instead of dropping once gameplay starts. Final Fantasy VII: Ever Crisis earns the 9th spot by blending stylized design with cinematic combat, creating one of the most visually polished JRPG experiences available on mobile. Coming in at number 8 is Ni no Kuni: Cross Worlds, a mobile RPG that stands out instantly because of its art style. Instead of chasing realism, the game leans into a storybook fantasy look. Soft lighting, rich colors, and smooth animations make every area feel warm and alive, almost like you're moving through an animated film. Characters are expressive, spell effects flow naturally, and combat stays visually clean, even when the screen fills with action. Nothing feels stiff or overdone. Everything moves with a sense of polish and care. What really elevates it is consistency. Towns, open fields, dungeons, and story moments all keep the same visual quality, which is rare for a mobile MMO. Ni no Kuni: Cross Worlds earns the 8th spot by proving that high graphics aren't only about realism. Strong art direction and smooth presentation can be just as impressive on mobile. Would you play a mobile MMO purely for its art style, or does gameplay always matter more to you? Landing at number 7 is Ark: Survival Evolved, a game that honestly feels unreal to be running on a phone. This is a full open-world survival experience with massive maps, long view distances, and environments that stretch far beyond what most mobile games even attempt. There are no tiny arenas here. You're dropped into a living world with forests, oceans, mountains, and weather changing around you. What really sells the visuals is scale. Dinosaurs aren't just big, they're huge. Their size, animations, and presence make the world feel dangerous and unpredictable, especially when you first encounter them. Lighting, day-night cycles, and environmental effects add to that raw, natural look. It's not always perfectly polished, but it feels alive, and that's the point. Ark: Survival Evolved earns the 7th spot by doing something most mobile games avoid entirely, pushing hardware to its limits and delivering a survival world that feels closer to console than mobile. Sitting at number 6 is Chimera Land, one of the most ambitious and unpredictable worlds ever built for mobile. This is a true open sandbox. You can explore on foot, fly through the sky, dive underwater, and move freely across a massive seamless map with no hard limits holding you back. Visually, the game stands out because of its creature design. You'll run into mythic beasts, strange hybrids, and massive creatures that look nothing like typical fantasy enemies. Their size, movement, and variety make the world feel wild and unfamiliar. The environments lean more toward atmosphere than polish. Lighting, distance, and scale do the heavy lifting, creating a world that feels huge even when textures aren't perfect. Chimera Land earns the 6th spot by going all in on scale and freedom,
proving that high graphics on mobile aren't just about sharp detail, but about building a world that feels limitless.
Landing at number 5 is Undecember, an action RPG that looks far heavier than most isometric games on mobile. From the first fight, the visual quality stands out. Environments are dense and layered, lighting creates real depth, and the camera angle never hides how much detail is packed into each area. Combat is where the game really shows its strength. Skills, runes, and abilities fill the screen with effects, but everything stays readable. Attacks feel weighty, animations are smooth, and enemy reactions make every hit land with impact. Boss fights push things even further, with large models, aggressive designs, and effects that test both your screen and your device. Undecember earns the 5th spot by delivering a dark, high-detail presentation that feels closer to a PC action RPG than a typical mobile game, especially when the action is at its peak.
Holding the 4th spot is Pascal's Wager, a mobile action RPG that feels heavy in the best way possible. This game doesn't rely on flashy effects to look impressive. Instead, it builds its visuals around dark atmosphere and weight. Environments are tight and moody, filled with shadows, fog, and lighting that makes every area feel tense and hostile. Character models are detailed and grounded. Armor looks worn, faces carry emotion, and combat animations are slow and deliberate, so every swing and dodge feels intentional. Nothing floats, everything has mass. Enemy design adds to that feeling. Creatures look disturbing rather than stylish, which fits the world and keeps fights visually intense without needing constant explosions. What really sets it apart is consistency. The game looks strong during real combat, not just in cutscenes or menus. Pascal's Wager earns the number 4 spot by delivering a dark, console-style visual experience that proves mobile games can feel serious, grounded, and visually powerful without relying on spectacle alone.
Coming in at number 3 is Infinity Nikki, a game that honestly doesn't look like it should be running on a phone. This is a full open world built with Unreal Engine, and it shows immediately. Lighting reacts naturally, reflections move in real time, and environments feel dense and alive instead of flat or empty. Character detail is a huge part of the presentation. Clothes move with real cloth physics, hair flows naturally, and animation stays smooth whether you're exploring or moving quickly through the world. Nothing feels stiff or pre-rendered. What makes it special is how good everything looks in motion. You're not just standing around admiring textures, the world holds up while you're running, turning, and interacting with it. The environments balance color and technical complexity, creating scenes that feel vibrant without sacrificing depth or realism. Infinity Nikki earns the number 3 spot because it pushes mobile graphics into territory that usually belongs to consoles, setting a new bar for what high-end phones can realistically handle.
Sitting at number 2 is Arena Breakout, a mobile shooter that goes all in on realism instead of spectacle. This game doesn't try to impress you with flashy explosions. Instead, it focuses on how real everything looks and feels. Lighting behaves naturally, materials look grounded, and interiors feel lived in, from dark hallways to cluttered rooms where every shadow matters. Weapon detail is a huge part of the experience. Reloads, aiming, and movement are slow and deliberate, and animations sell the weight of every action. Nothing feels arcade-style here. Every firefight is tense because the visuals stay clear and believable. What really sets it apart is restraint. Effects are subtle, smoke hangs in the air, and visibility becomes part of the challenge. The game looks strong because it knows when not to overwhelm the screen. Arena Breakout earns the number 2 spot by delivering one of the most grounded and realistic visual experiences ever seen on mobile, the kind that pulls you in and doesn't let go once the action starts.
Taking the top spot is Bright Memory Mobile, a game that completely changes what high graphics means on a phone. This isn't just a good-looking mobile shooter. It's a full Unreal Engine experience running in real time. Lighting reacts dynamically, reflections shift as you move, and particle effects fill fights without breaking immersion. Combat is where everything comes together. Gunfire lights up environments, sparks and debris respond to impact, and abilities blend smoothly with shooting, making every encounter feel cinematic instead of scripted. What's impressive is how detailed the world stays while you're moving fast. Textures hold up, effects stay sharp, and the game never feels like it's cutting corners just because it's on mobile. Animations are fluid, environments feel alive, and the pacing keeps visuals front and center without turning into chaos. Bright Memory Mobile earns the #1 spot because it doesn't just push mobile graphics, it steps into console territory and proves that, in the right hands, a phone can deliver a truly high-end visual experience.